Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Are you ready to build a modern AI powered backend application? Today, we will combining the power of Encore.ts, a TypeScript based backend framework for backend development, Cursor AI to supercharge our coding, and we will be using Docker container to run our PostgreSQL as database. We will start by setting up the Encore.ts, a scalable TypeScript backend. Then we will use the Cursor AI to enhance our development speed. And last, we will be using the Docker container to run PostgreSQL for our data storage. We will also use Encore Cloud to deploy our application. By the end of this video, you will have a fully functional REST API CRUD application for inventory management with cutting edge tools and best practices. So make sure you watch the video till the end. Also, don't forget to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you don't miss the videos like this one. So let's get started. Alright guys, so before we just jump into the code editor and start building our project, I would first like to give you a walkthrough of what is Encore.dev. So you can see here that Encore.ts, it's an open source TypeScript backend framework to build robust type-safe application. And I will also show you how we install Encore in our project and everything. And there's a lot of startups and scale-up that are actually using Encore to build their applications faster. Now here I will show you that Encore also have this capability of AI native framework for developers. So we can just use this Encore with our GitHub Copilot or Cursor, and then we can just build our production ready application using AI assisted development. So we are going to use the Cursor in order to build our application. Then we will also see that these are some of the features that get unlocked when you use Encore with GitHub Copilot or with a Cursor. So if you are using just a copilot, you will just get a code autocomplete, chat inline actions. But if you are using LLM Encore instructions with copilot or cursor, then you can automatically create and validate the cloud infrastructure, type safe, standardized API, and lot more. So here you can easily see that why Encore is 9x faster as compared to the Express.js. Whether you're building with schema validation or without validation, the processing of requests are much faster with Encore.ts as compared to the Express.js. Alright, so why Encore is so fast? That's because it's a Rust powered performance, because it's using Rust in the background, and it's a type safety in Node.js. So that actually makes application which are built using Encore TypeScript more performant, compatible, and type safety. The another interesting fact about Encore is that you create functions as APIs. So it's a very simple, you just write a function that is going to make an API call and give you the response back. And you can also build easily microservices using Encore. So you just have to export your service and then you can just use it in your API calls. Now Encore also supports to integrate infrastructure as a type safe object. So it's very easy to connect with a database, whether it's a PostgreSQL or SQL. It also provides you the PubSub capability, object storage. So if you want to store some files, pictures, you can just use the object storage. You can build cron jobs using it, secrets, and then you can also have the caching mechanism. Now it also helps you to give a local infrastructure and build in development dashboard. You can see all the services. You can also have the documentation of your services there. You can have your service catalog. You can also trace and logging. You can have the architecture diagram and much more. So we will see each and everything in step when we are actually building our REST API for inventory management. Now let me showcase some of the projects that are built using the Encore and are deployed on the Encore cloud. Whether it's a fintech, e-commerce, healthcare, you can build any kind of an application using Encore.ts. All right, I will also show you the GitHub repository where you have a different kinds of example, like AI chatbot. You want to build an assembly AI starter, you want to have some authentication part, booking system, clerk, GraphQL. So this is a long list of all the example apps. They can just take a reference of it and you can build your own application faster using Encore.ts. All right, now we already know about Encore. Let's start working on the application. So what I will do is we will just go to get started. The first thing we have to do is we need to install the Encore into our system. So if you are using Mac OS, you can use this command. If you are using Windows, you have this command, Linux and brew. So you have commands for each of the operating system. All right, so now let's get started. So I'm going to go to the get started part, and we're going to go to the guide. So the first part is the installation. So let's open the terminal. So I'm going to copy this, and I will go to the terminal and I will paste it here. All right, I'm going to hit enter. So now you will see that it says that Encore dev tap Encore, it's already installed and it's up to date. So this is how you can just install it on your machine. All right, so now the next part what we will do is we need to have the cursor or GitHub Copilot as a code editor, because those have the features of the AI native development. So you can just go to, I will close this. So this is the official website of the cursor editor. It's more kind of a wrapper to our VS Code. So you will have a very similar theme and feel when you use the cursor. Now, based on your operating system, you can just download it. So you can find it whether it's a Windows, Linux, or Mac. You can just go click, take the installer file, and then just install it in your machine. The other thing that we will need to build our project is to get the Docker. So you can just download the Docker desktop based on your operating system, and you can just install it on your machine. We are going to run our database into the Docker. So that's why we will need Docker for building this application. So I'm going to close this. Now, once we have installed this, what I will do is I'm going to open the cursor. So let's open the cursor editor. So this is how the cursor editor looks like. And let's go to the terminal part. All right, so I will go to the terminal, and now let's bootstrap our Encore application. So to do that, what we will do is I'm going to go to the quick start. I have already installed the Encore CLI. So in order to create your application, I'm going to use Encore app create. So I will go here. I will have Encore app create. All right, I'm going to hit enter. And now this is asking me that which language you want to use. Since we are not using Go, we will be going with the Typescript. So I'm going to hit enter. And there are a few templates that you can get easily when you just bootstrap your application. Can get this interactive tutorial. Hello world, it's a simple REST API. You have this uptime monitor. It's a microservices project which is using the SQL database, PubSub, cron jobs, a lot of features. Then you have a simple REST API, and I'm going to create an empty app, because we are going to start everything from the scratch, and then we are going to build the whole application and deploy it on Encore Cloud. So I will hit enter, and we need to give the app name. So my app name will be inventory app. All right, so we are going to build an inventory management REST API application. So I'm going to use inventory app. Then it's downloading the template, running the npm install, and boom. So we have everything. We have the app ID. This is our app ID. We have the web URL where we can just access it. So open, then we can just go and see that this is what our application looks like, and this is in the cloud, and it provided support by the Encore Cloud. So you will have everything here, the service catalog, you will have the code of your project, flow, and everything. All right, so the next we get is the app root. So this is our application root. Now if you want to run the app, then we just have to go to the folder, and then we use the Encore run. And here it says that if you press yes, then it is automatically going to this folder and run our application. So what I will do is I'm going to put yes, my application is running. So it built the Encore application, analyzes service topology, starting Encore application, and the local environment is started. So let me show you the local dashboard URL. So this is the local dashboard URL where the application is getting started. Right now, if I go to the API Explorer, I don't have any APIs to work on. I haven't built anything. This is my service catalog. This is the infra, services, database, and everything. This is the flow, snippet, and this is the AI lab. So we have a lot of things here. We can also trace and everything, but we will see this once we start building our application, because right now we don't have the application. We just have a simple empty application which doesn't have any code. All right, so let's go back. I'm going to open the project here. All right, so this is how the application structure we get using the Encore. Let's go through one by one. So this is the tsconfig JSON file. We have this TypeScript support. So this is all the configuration we need for our TypeScript application. Then we have a package JSON file. In the package JSON file, you will not see much as scripts and all those. So we just have a dependency of the Encore.dev. And that is one of the cool feature that you get rid of all the dependencies. You don't need to install each and every dependency like you do it in the Express.js. Then for dev dependency, it's using a TypeScript because it's a TypeScript framework. Now in the Encore app, it's simple, have the app ID and the language is TypeScript, because this language can also be a Go, as we can also build Encore application using Go language. Then we have git ignore, and these are some of the files we get it with the Encore. Now we have this. Now what we have to do is we have to build our inventory management application. So you can see that if I use the command L to chat or command K to generate, so I'm going to use command L so that I get this composer here. I can chat, I can compose anything, and I can find the bugs. So in the composer, we are going to build the application using the AI feature. So what we will do is first we need to have the instructions that are supported by the Encore in the cursor. So if I go back here, let's go here, and here you will see that you can actually add the LLM instructions for the Encore. So I'm just going to click this file and download it. So let me go and click. All right, I get this file. Now I'm going to click on download. So this file is downloaded. Now let's open this file. All right, so now I have downloaded this. So we have this file downloaded. Now I'm going to copy this file and put it in my cursor. So I will go here and put it here, and I will say paste, and you will see that the file is pasted here. So I have this all the instructions here. All right. Now if we go back, then what we have to do is, if we are using cursor, then we have to rename the file with this name. So let's rename the file with this name. If you're using Copilot, then you can just follow this instruction. All right, let's go back, and I'm going to click here and I will rename. So I will put this one, and we are going to remove this .txt. So I have my cursor rules set here. Now let's build the project using the composer. So what we want to build here is that let's have a build a REST API CRUD project for inventory management without ORM. So we don't want to use ORM here. And the reason behind this is, if we go to the Encore, so let's go here, and if we go here, then you will see that you have all ORM options as well here. You can use Prisma, Drizzle, Sequelize. But the intention here to build this project is to get yourself familiarized with Encore.ts and how you can build projects using it. So once you know how to use the Encore, then you can just explore all this ORM and then build your project. Yeah. So for us, we will not be using the ORM. So I'm going to hit enter, and this is going to generate all our code base. So it's generating the code. So let's wait for it. All right, so now our code is generated. So these are all our endpoints. We have the inventory, create new item, list all items, get single item, update and delete. And we also have the database setup and everything. Now what I will do is I will just accept all those changes so that I can get my code here. Okay, I will just take this on the right side. Now let's go through one by one. So we have this Encore.service.ts, and this is a very simple, we have the service. We are importing the service from the Encore.dev service, and we just export that service. Now in the Encore app, we have our application database. We are using the SQL database that is also coming from the Encore.dev storage, and this is our database name. API.ts is where we get all our functions. So these are all the interfaces that we will need for our inventory item, create item, update, and these are the actual functions. So you have the create item function where the method is post. This is the path, and it exposed the path. Then we have the parameters that we are going to accept from the user is the create item params. Then we have a promise of type inventory item, and we go with the logic here. All right, now we also see that there is an issue here. It's complaining. So what we can do is we can just use this. It also gives us the suggestion that what can be improved here. All right, now if we go down, then we see that we have one more issue here. So if I hover it, then we can see that we have this issue. We will just click on fix in composer. All right, and then it is giving us the changes that we have to do. So I will just click on accept changes, and I will also click here accept file. All right, so we have the accept changes. Now it seems there is no issue in our file. All right, now let's try to run this application. So I will go to the terminal part, and here I will write Encore run and hit enter. And here you will actually see it. Let me close this first. And here you will see that it is building the Encore application, analyzing the service topology, but it says creating Postgres database cluster failed. The Docker daemon is not running. Start it first. All right. So for us, Encore will basically create a PostgreSQL instance. It will run the image in the container automatically. So we don't have to do anything. But for that, what we need is we install the Docker in our machine, and that is where we need the Docker here. So let's start the Docker first. So what I will do is I will go for the Docker desktop, and I will click, and let me start my Docker. So here you will see that I have started my Docker here, and the Docker service is now running. Now let's give a try. So what I will do is I will go here and again do the Encore run. And this time it's creating a Postgres database cluster, which is done, and our application is running. We can go and check in the Docker container. Then here we will see that this is the Docker container which is running. All right, we can go to inspect and we can just check all the details like Postgres user, password, and everything. So Encore automatically does everything for us. We don't have to do much about it, how to manage the database and everything. Now let's go and let's check. So if I go and run my APIs, so I'm going to copy this. Maybe I will copy this. All right, let's go to the browser. Okay, I will close all this. We don't want them now. And if I go here and if I hit enter, then here you will see that we have our local development dashboard where we are having this API explorer. If we go to the service catalog, and if I click on the inventory, then we have this create item, delete, get, list, and everything. Infra, if we go and check, then we have this 5 endpoints. We have the database which is running. We have our machine where our code is running, which is the compute service, and our database service. So when you use the PubSub, cron jobs, or object storage, you will also get those also getting running. For our application, we are not using them. So these, we have 5 public endpoints and everything, snippets, and then we have the AI lab. All right, so we are much interested in the service catalog. I will go here and let's try to create an item. So let me try to create an item as iPhone 16. So let me have iPhone 16. This is 128 GB. I have 4 quantity and the price will be 100. All right, and let me give a call. So now you will see that when I make an API call, I actually get an error here, and I will also get the same error if I go and check in our cursor. So it's an internal server error, and there is a problem in serializing the parameter. Rust type Encore runtime, this, and the Postgres type numeric. And this is happening on the third parameter. So let's go and let's try to find it out. So we will try to debug this, because when you generate the code from the cursor AI and using this LLM, it's not every time it's a 100% accurate code. So there may be, you need to make some fixes. So what I will do is first, let me try to get the values here. And here I will just do a console.log and let me log the params. All right, so I'm going to go here. Oops, I will go here again and I'm going to send the request again. I still get the error. That's fine. I want to see the data which I'm passing. I'm getting that data or not. All right, so I see that I get the data here. I get the description, name, quantity, and unit price. Let's see what is this third parameter is. So I'm going to minimize this. Yeah, let's go here. And if I do the insert values, then we see that this is 0, 1, 2, 3. So there is some problem with the unit price data type. So I'm going to go and check the unit price data type. So let's go to inventory item and we see that it is a number, but since this is not getting mapped, so let's go and let's check our table. So inside the table, I see quantity is a decimal. So it could be that we have a problem here. So what I will do is I will just remove all this. And here the other fix is either you can use a float or you can also use a double precision, which is more compatible type safety. So let's use the double precision. All right, now let's give a try. So I will go here and I will kill the application. I will rerun the application. All right, and then I'm going to go and rerun the code. So let me have the code. Okay, I still see an error. Now the other approach what we can do is we can just reset our database. So I'm going to go here. All right, now I will also kill this. So let me kill this. So we have deleted our container. Now what we will do is we will also reset our database since we have made a change in the database table column type. So what I will do is I will have the Encore reset and you reset the DB and you need to provide your database name. So if you want to see our database name, we go to the db.ts and the name is inventory. So I will copy, put inventory here and hit enter. All right, so I made a mistake. Okay, so it is not correct statement. It will be Encore DB reset and then the database name. All right, so we hit enter and then our database reset. Now let's try to run it. So I will do the Encore run and this time it will start the container again. So if we go, we see that the container is started. So let's go and give a try. So I will go here and let's try to make a call. And this time you see that when I make an API call, we can also do the trace of it. Then we see that it took only this much milliseconds. And then this is our response looks like. This is our response, this is our request, and these are the logs. We have the starting request and request completed. So it gives you everything. You don't need to have a lot of different npm packages in order to see the logs, in order to get the swagger and everything. So you will also see the documentation, API documentation here. All right, here you see the request, how the request looks like. Let's make it as a JSON, and this is the response looks like. All right, so that's easy it is. Now let's go and let's give a try. So if I want to list the items, I can copy this, go here and enter, and you will see that you have this. So you have your local APIs ready. You can just integrate it with the front end, and then you can just work on it. Let's try to create one more. So I'm going to go here. This time I'm going to write Nokia. I will have this is smartphone. I will have the quantity as 4, and I will have the price as 80. All right, make a call, and then it's got persisted. Let's go here and let's run. Then we see that we have 2 objects. Now if I want to get only a product with an ID, so we will only get one product with an ID. I will just zoom this. All right, and if we want all products, let's have all products. Then we have 2 products. Okay, so we have already done with our endpoints. All our endpoints are ready. We can just give a try and then just check them. The next part I want is you can also deploy this application, and then you can just share the endpoints to anyone, and they can just integrate your APIs with all this documentation. So how we do that is we are going to deploy on the Encore cloud. So let's have the Encore.dev. Okay, and then if we go down, then here you will see the deploy part. So either you can deploy on the self-hosting, or you can also deploy it on the Encore cloud, which is free. So we are going to choose the Encore cloud. And for this, what you have to do is you just have to create an account. So when you create your application, it also asks you that you want to create a new account or not. In my case, I already created the application, so I have this account. Okay, so what I will do is let's do this one. I will do git add a. So I will go back here, I will close this, and I will do git add a. All right, next I will just do an initial commit. So I will copy, do the initial commit. All right, so all the files are committed, and then I'm just going to do git push Encore. So it is going to push the changes on the GitHub on Encore. So I have the git push Encore. All right, now everything is pushed. Now if I want to go and check the application is getting deployed, so I will just copy this and go here. All right, so this is my application, and here you see that the deployment is in progress. So it's a build and test. Application is getting built, it will get test, provisioning the infrastructure, and then do the deployment release. So it's going to take a few seconds to get it deployed. All right, so now here we will see that the build and test is complete. Now there is a provisioning of the infrastructure. So it is having the serverless instance of our application. Then it is also creating an instance for the database. All right, so we see the database instance is created now. It's still creating the compute instance. So let's wait for it. And here you will also see that in the logs you see here that finish batch apply for SQL database. So it is also going to create all the users, grant all the permissions and everything on your behalf. All right, so now I guess this compute instance is also created. It's a serverless instance. Database created. These are some of the other resources that required in order to function our application in the cloud. So these are automatically created, and then deployment is also successful. All right, so everything is done. Now if we want to access our application, what we can do is we can go to overview, and in the overview we see the environment, services. We have 5 endpoints. All right, let's go to the service catalog, and this is how the service catalogs looks like. So if I go here, then if I copy, okay, let me go get list items. I will copy, I will go here, and I see that there are no items. So let's create some items first. So for that, let's go to the create. Here I will have the iPhone 16. I will have this is 128 GB. I will have 5 units. I will have price is 999 and make an API call. And we see that the record is created. If I go here and if I run this application, then I see the record is created here. Let me zoom in. All right, so actually this application is deployed on Encore cloud, and you will see that we have not written much code for the implementation. We have got the code easily from our Cursor AI composer using the Encore LLM rules, and we have to just make some adjustments and fix the bugs that we encounter and our application is almost ready. So you can just play around and you can create a bigger application. This was a very small application, just a RESTful CRUD APIs, but the idea of this video is to give you a sense that how much Encore.ts backend service is a very powerful, and it's purely open source. So you can just go and create more of the applications, deploy them on the cloud, and you can just build the projects. So that's all I have in this video. I hope you liked the video. A thumbs up is appreciated. You can also connect with me via Facebook or Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter for latest updates. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you don't miss the videos like this one. Thank you. Thanks for watching.